Good morning, everyone. Your lead news story for today comes from Seoul, South Korea, but actually began in the United States. Now, recently, President Park Geun-hye from South Korea visited the U.S. to meet with President Barack Obama and address the Congress. However, at the tail end of her visit, scandal erupted when former spokesperson Yoon Chang-jung was summarily dismissed from his position within the administration. It came to light that at the tail end of the presidential visit, he sexually assaulted one of the interns assigned to assist him. Now, this is how his side of the story went. During the visit, Mr. Yoon dressed down this 21-year-old Korean American intern. Later in the evening, he invited her out to drinks with his driver. The meeting lasted about 30 minutes. At the end of that meeting, he patted her on the waist and then sent her on his way. She tells a very different story. After the event concluded, she went to U.S. police authorities and filed a complaint saying that he touched her buttocks in a way that was uncalled for and that she did not want. Now, in the dead of the night, Mr. Yoon fled the United States. And as of this weekend, it was really unclear what really happened from Mr. Yoon's perspective. It was very quiet. Lawmakers here in South Korea not only called for him to make a statement, but for the presidential office to make a public apology for bringing shame on South Korea. On Saturday afternoon, Chang-jung, the presidential office, the Blue House, did such a thing. They released a statement apologizing for the behavior of their staff member and bringing shame on South Korea. Then later in the day, Mr. Yoon held his own press conference where he began to tell his side of the story. And this is what he had to say. "I apologize for causing concern to President Park and the people, for causing harm to the accomplishments of the successful U.S. visit. But I didn't have any intention of sexual harassing her. I think there was a misunderstanding between us because of cultural differences. If I have hurt her, I ask for her understanding and offer an apology." Now, this begins to show some of the problems with culture here in South Korea, specifically among older men and the relationships with women. If I hurt her, that kind of statement clearly signals that he does not fully understand the ramifications of his actions or that he really believes that he did anything wrong. In my assessment of his statement, I really believe that he feels he did nothing wrong and he doesn't understand that in 2013, in the 21st century, no matter if you're tapping someone on the waist or on the shoulder, it's unwanted sexual advance. There needs to be some good educational opportunities within South Korea to make individuals understand that this kind of old boy behavior that was pretty commonplace in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s in the United States is completely uncalled for and inappropriate. Now, to make matters even more worse for Mr. Yoon, as I mentioned, he left in the dead of night. Now, the presidential statement said that Mr. Yoon left on his own accord, and Mr. Yoon has released a statement saying that he had intended to stay in the United States to complete the visit, but at the urging of the presidential press office, he left because there's some sort of agreement between the U.S. and South Korea in which the investigation could be concluded here. Now, I have to say, that's a load of bull. If you are being accused of a crime of this nature or of any crime, you don't run if you're innocent. This is something that he has done. He has fled the country. He has fled the scene. There is no way that an accurate investigation can happen with Mr. Yoon not in the United States. Now, he also said that if he did do something wrong, he'd be willing to pay the legal ramifications of that action. Now, if that is truly the case, then Mr. Yoon needs to go back to the United States for the duration of the investigation. Also, another investigation really needs to be started to see whether or not Blue House did urge Mr. Yoon to leave the country to avoid prosecution. That is the story. Links to the story, of course, will be at chiranger.com. You can also follow me on Twitter. And if you want to know more about news that's happening here in East Asia, the podcast is out today as well. Okay, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Did he act inappropriately? Should he be returned to the United States? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, remember to be true to yourself and always be awesome.